Welcome back to another episode of the Booktroverts podcast. I'm McKayla.
I'm Meg.
And today we are going to be talking about all of our reads from January. We thought this would be a good first episode of the month to do. And then, like we mentioned in the last episode, we will be covering Harry Potter Book 4 in the next episode. So, I had 9 reads this month. How many did you have?
I think I'm having to check, 8. I did 8.
Okay,
yeah.
so we have, what is that? 17? 17.
You're trying to have me do math right now.
17.
Yes.
17 options for you to maybe get a recommendation. We also read a lot of similar genres, but then we also read a lot of different things. So I feel like this will be good. You'll get like a good variety depending on what you like to read.
Yeah, and it's so funny because even though some of them I would probably say are similar to what we like, we've kind of branched out with which authors we're reading too.
Yes.
So you're kind of reading something and then will message me and say, hey, this is really good. And I've done the same thing. So that's kind of nice too, where we're not just saying, did you read that yet?
Yeah.
Okay, we did. And then moving on the next week and doing the same thing. So I'm liking it.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice.
Me too. And it's, I agree. Because I feel like before we would unintentionally buddy read things a lot. Now it's nice where it's like one person kind of reads it and it's like, okay, the other person's going to get to it in a few months. And it's nice.
Yeah.
Like, we'll have variety on here. So I guess we'll just do like one and we'll go back and forth that way.
Yeah.
So I guess I can start with my first one, which was my very first read of the year was Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. So you can listen to the last episode for my thoughts on that book.
I feel like I'm doing a copy paste, but same exact first book for me too.
Love it. What a great way to start the year.
So it's, starting off with a bang. Go listen to the pod. Yeah. We talked about it for a long time.
Yes. And we watched the movie, so lots of Harry Potter content. Okay, I guess we'll move right into book 2 for me, and you will see them. Oh, I would also like to preface my reads for January all over the place. Like, there were some terrible ones and there were some great ones, so like we have a lot of variety here. So the next book I went into was The Pucking Wrong Number by C.R. Jane. This is a dark hockey romance. I have been recommended this from my mom and my sister. They both read, and they're not dark romance readers, so I was like, oh, I should probably love this. And they had rated it pretty high. I gave it 2.5 stars. The premise of the book is it follows this hockey player who sends this like kind of inappropriate text message to a girl he thinks he's supposed to be kind of like forced to be with, ends up being a completely different number, and the girl he ends up texting, he starts to stalk her and they proceed to have a relationship from there. Like, the premise is interesting, but when I tell you, Lincoln, who is the MMC, he cringed me out so much. Like, I just did not like him. That's why my rating was so low. So I will not be continuing that series.
That's unfortunate because that was, I tried one of the dark romances that was hockey specific and absolutely hated it and just avoided that like the plague. So I was hoping that there'd be another one that was kind of interesting, but all right. Good to know. I trust your rating a lot more when it comes to that.
I'll let you know if I find one, but I haven't yet.
Okay. So my second read was Hexes and Honeysuckle by Erin Branscombe, and I feel like I'm saying that name wrong, so I apologize, but I rated it 3.25 stars. I know we're getting ridiculously specific, but this was a best friends to lovers. They have a witchy theme, so the hexes part obviously kind of gives that witchy theme, but I had read, I think it was the second one around the Christmas time and liked it. So I said, let me go back and read the first one, which was more the fall theme, and then this one was kind of spring. And they're super cute, but it just was a little bit extended at times, when it just drags on for a bit. So there was just a moment where I wish it kind of could have sped up or maybe just ended the book, because it felt as if they did 3 or 4 epilogue-ish chapters at the end, which I just was kind of, and not that the time spanned years, it was just they got together, okay, now we're having another 3-4 chapters, what's going on, why do I need that information? So it was cute. I would recommend it if you just need a cute simple read, but it's mid. That's pretty much it.
It sounds similar to the like Pumpkin Spice Cafe series. Is it a similar vibe? Was I interpreting that correctly?
Similar vibe for sure.
Yeah. Just kind of, yeah. I know exactly the type of series you're talking about.
Yep.
The complete opposite of that type of series. I read Sinners Anonymous by Soam. I hope I'm saying this right. Soam Sketcher. This is book 1 in the series. This is a mafia romance. Literally complete opposite of what you were reading.
Yep.
I would say standard mafia book. Basically, the premise is it takes place on like the West Coast, and 3 brothers in this mafia family. Their dad was like a priest, and as the mafia leader though, because then he would take the confessions people were using or giving him in the confessional, and then would use it to like weed out people and find out what they were doing. So the brothers kind of like took that concept and they created this hotline called Sinners Anonymous that you can call in and you can confess, and then they get some revenge on people that way. Basically, a girl that is calling in is his uncle's fiance, and he ends up falling in love with her. That's the basis of the book. 3 stars. It was good. Like I said, standard mafia romance. It's really, really hyped up series. I probably will continue with it, but I'm not rushing to get to book 2. But I have heard really great things about the series.
That's good. I it's so funny when you read a first book in a series and it's kind of all right, but then the second or third end up being so much better where you have to stick it out. So the thing is, those are always good.
Sometimes with like a first book, I'm like, it will be like just mid, but there's some side characters I'm like, ooh, I can't wait till we get to their story because I feel like it's gonna be good. None of the side characters really capture me that way. Like, I don't even know which ones would get their own book, so I think that's why I'm not like rushing to get to the next one. But it would be a good like palette cleanser in between, or like I don't know what I want to read next. Let me just keep going with the series. But yeah, it is a really hyped up series though on Book Talk. So
all right,
I'll let you know if I keep going.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you end up reading it and it becomes better, you'll have to keep me updated because maybe I'll add it to my list.
Yeah, I do believe they're interconnected standalones, so I do think you can jump around. So I'll keep you posted.
All right, good to know. So my next one, and I read so many in the series, is the first book in the DC Stars series. So this is Face Off by Chelsea Curto, and I just have to preface this because I'll talk about all of them in a second, but this series has been hyped up. I know you had messaged me saying, oh my God, it is literally rated top hockey romance of the group, and compared to everything else. And I have to say that pretty much stands. So I just want to say from a series standpoint, probably accurately hyped or maybe even some underhyped here because...
Good to know. I cannot wait to get to this one. It's been on my list for so long. I was so excited when I saw you were reading it. So I was like, oh, good. She'll give me the tea on if it's actually good. Yeah. But I'm like itching to get to it. I just need to be in like the right mood for it to give it optimal like chance for success.
I totally get it. And the first one I will say, so it follows Emmy and Maverick, and Emmy actually is the first woman in the NHL. So the first professional hockey player. She was on the oh my God, is it what is the
AHL?
Like the minor is that league? Their like farm team or something like that? Yeah, okay. I couldn't remember the term. I thought I just heard it recently, but so she is in a different area on that, and she gets called up. And I don't want to give too much away, but their banter is perfection. And I think what really makes it work is they both play hockey and they're playing for the same team. So you get so much time with them where it's not as I'm going away and I'm doing my day job and then I come back. No, they literally are with each other all the time. And
are they roommates on the road?
No.
Like that's like an extra layer.
She has her own place and own separate things and everything. But the series goes into a lot of the differences in how women might be treated in terms of the environment that they're in a male heavy industry. So, and that's a common theme across the entire series. Every single one pretty much hits on that. They do such a good job with every single one of those, but this one was just so funny, and there's things I can't tell you because it ruins the story if you get to it, but oh my gosh, I think you're gonna enjoy it so much just from aspects that we've liked of other series. So it really well well done. And these two were super cute. I think I gave it a 4.5, and it's my highest of the whole series so far. And I think it was just because of their banter. It was so good.
Oh, I'm excited to read it.
Yeah. It's good, but I'll let you go for your next one.
Again, complete opposite of what Meg read. I read The Let Them Theory by Mel Robbins, self-help book.
What a jump over here.
So I'm not rating it because it's self-help. Honestly, I just love Mel Robbins, love her podcast. And if you've seen her talk about the Let Them Theory, I don't think you need to read the book. She does a really great job when she goes on podcasts, her own podcasts, other people's, when she explains it, even like quick little TikTok clips where you can get the gist of like what this thought process is behind it. The book just kind of goes into more situations of like in parent relationships, if you have children, with your spouse, like it just gives you, like, goes a little bit deeper of a dive, but the overall concept is the same. I just honestly love her and I wanted to read the book. It was like the #1 best-selling book, I think, on Amazon last year. Like, it was the best read of 2025. So yeah, it was good. I heard the audiobook is better. I just don't have an Audible subscription, and she does all hers exclusively through Audible. So I would say if you're interested, check it out. But don't expect there to be anything super groundbreaking in the book that you can't get from when she talks about it. But let them and let me. That's all I'll say about that.
I feel like I need to listen to it at some point, or the podcast, whatever it is, just to...
Have you heard about the theory?
I haven't. It's
oh
so
my
funny
goodness.
because
Okay.
I literally read it on your thing and then just was like, I need to ask her about this.
Okay, clearly we have very different algorithms.
I live under a rock, apparently.
Okay. Do you know who Mel Robbins is?
No.
Oh my goodness.
And then again, wait, actually pause. Would I know by face?
Maybe.
Because
She's the blonde-haired lady with the glasses. She goes on like a lot of podcasts, so you may have seen her.
Wait, hold on. I think I know what you're talking about.
On other people's, and she's like all over TikTok.
Oh, yep, I know who you're talking about. Okay, proceed.
So the theory basically is that like you can only control the things that you can control. You can't control what other people do, how they think, but we spend so much mental energy trying to, I guess, I don't even know what the right word is, like trying to get people to do what you want them to do and all this stuff. And so the whole point of it is like you will have so much less stress in your life if you just let people, like let them do what they're going to do. You can't control at the end of the day like another adult. They're going to make their own decisions. What you can control though is how you react to it and how you let it impact your day. So the whole point is like let them, but then let me. And then obviously there's different cases. Like if it's something where someone's going to harm themselves, like there's certain situations where you would need to insert yourself. But, you know, like little things that you could do it on. Like if you notice people that you're friends with went out and you weren't invited and like you're going to spend time getting like so upset and venting about it and like all this stuff. Instead, you can be like, you know what? Let them. Like there's probably a reason why they didn't invite me. And how do I handle it? Do I ask them, hey, why wasn't I invited, and just approach it like an adult? Do I try to make more of an effort to ask them to hang out? Like things like that, where she was like, you just spend so much time living in this space of like, why isn't everyone just acting the way I want them to, when it's like you need to focus on more what you can control. And so as a control freak like myself, it was interesting because I'm like, wow, I do spend a lot of mental energy trying to like arrange people on a chessboard to like do what I want them to do, and then I get like very stressed if things are not going according to my like life plan.
Yeah, you know what's so funny though is this topic, never, like I just said, have not heard about it in terms of the book or the podcast or anything, but this has been something I've been trying to preach but also follow myself for the past year, specifically with work and everything. It's come up so much with how people are, and I try to do that in personal life as well, of just how everything is. But truly, it's one of those, like, I can't control how anything else goes on in life. I can only control what I do. So I mean, I would love to listen to it because I try to follow that every single day of just, well, all right, move on. Let's keep going, because if not, you just spend so much time. And then I'm the type of person who literally just spirals on the same conversation and thinks of different ways I could have approached it or said something.
Yep.
And it's just, why am I doing that? It's not doing anything good. I've had to stop myself mid conversation and say, okay, nope, we can't do this.
Yeah.
You got to move on. So I love that.
Yeah.
That's
And it's
awesome.
almost just like accepting people how they are.
Yeah.
And which is, I feel like if you are someone who has more of like a control, I don't say that in a negative connotation, but like more of like a controlling personality, or like you're type A and like you're very orderly and you want things to go according to like how you have it figured out. It's really hard, and like you really do stress about it, and then you get the thing like you should just calm down. Like, why are you so worried about it? And it's hard, but I do like having to kind of have that reminder, like, okay, well, like I might not agree with this decision they're going to make, but let them do it. They're a grown adult. Yeah. It will work out how it works out, and then I can control how I react. Like if I don't want to be part of the fallout of it, I don't have to be. Also, I feel like it does put some accountability, because I think, at least for me, sometimes like certain things I'll like vent about, like I don't know why this person is doing that, and then I need to take 3 steps back and be like, okay, but like what did I do to contribute to this? Like that's a perfect one. Like the example she talks about, like seeing your friends get together, and it's like, okay, well, like have you reached out to them? Have you set anything up? Like, no.
Yeah, exactly. You can't get mad at something if you didn't, or if some of it might be what you could have controlled as well. Yeah. No, I'm totally with you. And it is funny when you do take a step back and have to think about it and kind of, and I know I'm going to go totally nerdy into my role, but like the retrospective, looking at things, saying, okay, what could have changed? What could I have done differently? But it happens every day, even if you don't call it that or use whatever, phrases, but it's funny when you think about things afterwards. Just, oh shit, I probably should have done that different.
Yeah. It was interesting, but like I said, if you can just see like a quick like podcast she does on it or a TikTok or whatever, you can get the gist of it. This just kind of, I mean, it was like 200 something pages. It just like went in more in depth of like certain, I guess, relationships or environments that you could test and see the theory.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was interesting, but I didn't rate it because I'm like,
I'll have to look at
it's
it.
A self-help book,
Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense.
Like when I tell you though, like all over the place in my reads this month.
I have to say, it's been entertaining hearing yours, because mine's just going to get ridiculous of just copy paste.
It's fine.
For the next 4.
It's fine. Go for it.
So, jumping back to hockey. Ooh, who's shocked? I literally binged this series. McKayla texts me. He goes, how are you flying through this so fast? Because it consumed me. Second one is called Power Play, DC Star's second book, and it is a grumpy goalie, which I have to tell you, did not expect to actually enjoy this much, but I really apparently like grumpy goalies. And he ends up in a coaching of sorts for her after her divorce, and there's been a few years in between. It's not like she just got divorced and that they're coaching, but pretty much of like coach in the bedroom, because she has such terrible confidence, and the fact that her husband or her ex-husband, it was just a really bad situation. So a lot of things that go into play, but the two of them are entertaining because it's pretty much that typical sunshine and grumpy, but they don't do it where it's overboard. I forget what the book was called, but you and I read it around fall, winter time, and it was just kind of annoying how much they made this one person super sunshine and rainbows and everything, and then the guy was just miserable. It was at least well done, but they're funny because to everyone else he's super grumpy, and then things that they kind of start doing in the first book with all of the side characters continues, and it just grows and gets better. So I think that helped the story too, because he's just miserable, but then he kind of shows his true colors, only with her. But
classic trope.
Yeah, I did rate it 4 stars, though. It wasn't phenomenal. I just really liked it. And honestly, I just started becoming so obsessed with all the characters that it just was one of those. I think it was kind of on the vibes for this one. Yeah, so
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm in it for everything. I like that they seem, well, I guess we'll find out as you go through the other ones, but different type of relationships in a typical hockey romance where it's like the hockey player and then the normal girl that he meets.
Yeah, no, all of these are completely different,
like.
and I'll get into them as we go through, but each of them has been different so far, which is nice. I like it. Yeah.
Okay, I went back to fantasy.
Okay.
Again, all over the place. I read We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. This is a romantasy that came out at the end of December, so it's very new, a very buzzy romantasy book. And to be honest, don't see why. I gave it 2 stars. Not for me. Will not be continuing. The book starts off extremely slow, so that already did not have me.
Oh no.
With a fantasy, with world building and characters I need to learn and all this, like, you need to hook me or I don't want to pick it up. I think this book took me like 12 days to read, which is a long time for me. It kind of is like Hunger Games in the sense that there's like these trials, but there's also vampires. I don't know. People are saying like these are the most well done trials I've ever read. Couldn't tell you what the trials were. Not memorable to me. It felt like gladiators, like Colosseum style, like they just went into this like fighting pit. It was not for me. Then the whole time I'm like, well, this is a romantasy. Where's the romance? Because she just seems to be talking to her dead best friend's dad, who's her coach this whole time. The guy who it seems like she's going to end up with in the series is so boring. He's like watching paint dry, and the spicy scenes between them, terrible. Like, I was like,
oh jeez,
honey, this is in a fantasy world. I should not be reading about her having mediocre sex.
No, it's supposed to be where it's a fantasy, specifically it was
bad. Like, I'm sorry. Zayden would laugh at this guy. And then there's this other guy kind of floating around, and you're like, okay, maybe they're about to Tamlin this shit, and like we're gonna have a switcheroo. No. At the ending, no. I was like, I don't think that's happening. Sorry, I definitely have given spoilers to this, but like the other guy has way more mystique and like mystery around him, and he'd be way more interesting. And then they put her with this guy. It just was not for me. 2 stars, will not be continuing. Would not recommend.
All right, good to know. Yeah, because to your point, it was super buzzy and everywhere.
Yeah,
and it's just
very buzzy. Like, I know for you would not like it. No recommending for you. If you're someone listening and you like Gladiator, Hunger Game, Vampire, slow burn, go for it. But Meg, like, he would not even have, this guy, nothing. Would not even have touched the book boyfriend list. Not worth it. And she sucks. She's boring too.
Oh, that's so much worse. At least give me one good person. Then, okay, it weighs out the negative. Ew. All right.
Not it.
Good to know. All right, so we're keeping the theme. We're going back to DC Stars 3, which is called Slapshot. I gave this one a 4.2 stars, and I don't know. I feel like this one and the next one probably could have been higher. So this follows Hudson. He's on the team, and he ends up looking for a personal chef because the guy cannot cook, and he needs, a reasonable diet with being a hockey player. Of course, they're not just eating chocolate chips for a snack on the side. So enter Maddie and her daughter, Lucy. And Maddie is his personal chef. Comes on as his personal chef, and he ends up, obviously Lucy's kind of the package deal, which is fine. She also is deaf, so that ends up bringing a whole different element, which I will say was amazing how well it was done. And so much that I learned.
Which one's deaf?
About it.
Maddie or her daughter?
Lucy. Her daughter, Lucy. Yeah. So just the way that American Sign Language is and how they have to learn things, but also someone who can hear but is trying to communicate with someone who cannot, just is, oh my God, I think they did such a good job. And literally as soon as I started and I finished this book, I said, I feel like I should learn sign language, because if I ever interacted with someone, I'd feel terrible if I couldn't communicate with them. So It was so good. It's such a heartfelt book. It just gets you in the feels, and they're just so cute. Hudson literally has a heart of gold, just amazing golden retriever vibes, and it's also entertaining because he has 2 golden retrievers, so it's just, bunch them together, but super cute. So again, similar in terms of the hockey energy, but it's a different storyline and where they come from and all their backstories and stuff. So
now, question for you, because this is my biggest pet peeve with like a single mom, single dad storyline.
Yeah,
is having to spend time. Like, I'm always worried about this child, like the logistics of where the child is when they're on their dates, when they're hooking up.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always worried about where the fuck is the kid. So is this addressed? Sometimes they're just like written off the page, and I'm like, but I know you have a kid, but like you're out a lot.
No. Lucy is so involved, but when they have scenes and everything, or just anything that's about them specific, they literally mention where Lucy is going. So Beautiful. It's always hey, the kid is here, did not get abducted, we're good. Perfect. You know what I mean? Or isn't just home eating pancakes with the dogs. Yeah. Like, it's fine.
That's my biggest pet peeve. It's like either the kid is always with them, and I'm like, okay, or they just we forgot about the kid. We have all this time to like go on these like spontaneous dates. I'm like, where the hell is the kid? Where's the child care?
Yeah, right. All of a sudden just disappears. Nope. So really well done. And it was interesting it being a single mom instead of usually it's always the single dad. So I liked that. I liked that variety.
Nice little switcheroo.
It was really good. Yeah, exactly.
Well, we finally have connected here because I also read a hockey book. So
okay.
I read The Long Game by Rachel Reed. It is technically book 6 in the Game Changers series, but it is book 2 in Shane and Ilya's story. If you have no clue who those people are, Heated Rivalry, you live under a rock. Now, Heated Rivalry I read in December. I gave it 3 stars. I thought it was okay. I did not understand the hype, though. Then I watched the TV show. I'm obsessed. And I could not read their second book fast enough because I was like, I need to know what the hell is happening with these. I need more Shane and Ilya. This book, 4.25 stars, obsessed with them. This one was heartbreaking. If you thought the first book, like what they go through, no. Because like this one, they're together. Spoiler alert for the end of Heated Rivalry. But while they're together, they're basically each having to fight their own demons, and they're not communicating about it to each other. And it jumps forward. Like, they've been doing, like, you see at the end of Heated Rivalry, they decide they're going to be together, but, like, they're going to continue to, like, keep it private. And so that is how the book starts. And it's, I want to say, like, 1 year or 2 years after the end of Heated Rivalry. So they've been, like, still living this secret, but now together. That's not spoiling anything. You literally learn this in the first, like, couple pages. But you can start to see where like it's really wearing on them, and they're trying to deal with like those emotions, but they're not trying to rock the boat within their relationship. Ilya's having to dive into more of like his upbringing and trauma from his family, which is all this groundwork's laid in the first book. And then we deal with some pressures from the league, and it's just like it's heartbreak after heartbreak because you're watching these two people that they want to be together so bad, but they're like both fighting their own demons, but they don't want to like say anything to the other to like cause any rifts. You're just like, how is this going to work out for them? As in Heated Rivalry, they put you back together at the end. It was fantastic, and honestly, I really cannot wait for this one to be adapted for the TV show because this will be season 2. I think it will be really, really great. And then like it was cool reading the book, being able to picture the actors and the way they brought those characters to life, and I really feel like their acting will do this such justice. It'll be really, really good.
Okay, so I have a few questions. Can I just read their books in the series if I wanted to?
Yes, that's all I've read.
All right, cool. So I'm just following along with you there. It's nothing against anyone else, but I just don't know if I need that right now from seeing this show. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, book 1 of the series is Scott and Kip.
Okay.
Their whole story, it got condensed into one episode in the show. And then book 2 is Heated Rivalry, which is season 1 of the show. And then, jump forward to book 6 is their second book. And it picks up right off the, like, obviously there's a little bit of a time gap, but, like, it kind of, you just, like, it's seamless. Anything that you need to know. Honestly, the only big detail that seems to be in the mix is Scott purchased the Kingfisher. It turned into a gay bar.
Oh, okay.
And, like, yeah.
That's fine.
That's basically it. Because I think in the other books, there was other relationships that were happening.
Okay. That's fine. And it's nothing again. And I say this with all kindness to what the other characters might be going through. But seeing the show, I just have such an attachment to those two that I need to know more about their story. And I'm okay with putting the rest on the back burner until maybe we get them in the second season. Who knows? Or that type of thing. And maybe they're just a one-off episode as well. And I can get enough and be fine. And it's not that Scott and Kip I'm against. I loved them. That episode made me cry so much. Good episode. Such a good episode. Such a good show. All the hype deserved.
Yes.
But I just feel like Shane and Ilya for me is where I need to be if I'm reading it. So
yeah, I mean, it's the Kiki Palmer meme. Like, sorry to this man. Like, I haven't met you in the show. Like, I can't be jumping into your book. Like, I need to know what's happening with Shane and Ilya because they just drive off into the sunset. What the hell is going on? I will say that I did like that the show had way more with Shane's mom because she's a queen. Love her. And she is in the second book more, which I appreciate. And also, I needed to read the second book because they are getting a third book coming out in September.
Wait, so they don't have the third one out yet?
No, September.
Oh my god. Okay.
So yeah, you can
February.
You can jump, but it was so good. Like, the second book was so much better than Heated Rivalry, in my opinion. More emotional.
That's fine.
Which was good.
Which, if you think about it, though, I guess it's a really good way for a series to be because the first one you're trying to get people invested in the characters, but then you get hooked in where you can't stop.
Oh, and let me just tell you, like, the ending, when that part comes up in the TV show, I will be bawling my eyes out.
I already was a mess at the end of this season.
Oh yeah, like, they are my little babies. Like, I need to protect them, and seeing them struggle, I could not handle it. But then the ending,
great.
Like, I'll be a mess.
So I should probably read them soon.
Yes,
is what I'm hearing, so that we can talk about it. And really get into it. Okay. All right, sounds good. I'll add it to my list. All right, so hockey theme. We're going to probably what I would say is the most emotional book in the series so far. Now, I say that because only 5 are out and there are going to be a total of 7 in the series. But this one is Hat Trick, which is the 4th in the DC Stars series. Gave this 4.25. Honestly, after sitting with it for a few weeks, I think it's been a few weeks since I read it, I think it's higher for me because I still go back to it in my mind. It broke me, but I enjoyed it. So similar to what you were just saying, you were so invested in the characters that it's just there. So not a spoiler, but Riley goes through a terrible accident that actually leaves him with an amputated right leg, I think above the knee. He's a professional hockey player. His whole life is completely changed. He can't go back to that right now. So he thinks his world is over. Enter Lexi. She's been the team's athletic trainer for probably a few years. I'm guessing a little bit even before the series started. And she has been on this mission to help Riley through his recovery without going into anything else and just giving you that beginner. It is phenomenal. I think it is so sweet. It just, oh my God, dealing with that trauma as well, but seeing where they go towards the end is just really good. And I think what I like about the series more is the 5th one kind of overlaps a little bit with the timeline, but you get a little bit farther down the line and you just see where it ends up being. And I think that's what hit the emotions even more, was just seeing these characters, even as a group, everyone included, not just Riley going through the accident, but well done. I don't think I could try to breach that subject in a book properly without feeling like I'm going to offend someone.
I can't even imagine like what the drama level is. It's like, that's a lot.
I can't either. And I mean, you've been playing professional hockey for a few years.
I mean, it's like,
not as if you've played for 10, 15. And I don't mean that to discredit anyone's injury at that time, but you've only been in it for a few years. Your whole career. Oh.
Yeah.
No.
And your career's being taken from you, which like that's already hard to deal with. You're now losing a limb. Mm-hmm. That's now impacting like your day-to-day just activities that you would do. I can't even imagine.
Yeah. But it was just so... It was so good.
Good for the representation in the book, though, because, I don't think I've read a book like that.
Yeah. I haven't either, and it was really good. I don't know if I'll be able to read one like that. I don't know if it would top it, because it was just so good. So, highly recommend. Honestly, I think in terms of if you need an emotional book that's phenomenal, this one would be the best out of the series.
Good to know. I'll have to prepare myself for that one.
Each has a different energy. Yeah. So based on what you're looking for, they'll all hit that. But it's just, Yeah. Yeah, it was so good.
Oh my God. I have to emotionally prepare myself.
Yep.
Okay. I also read another hockey book from one of our favorite sports romance series. I'm just really late on this. I finally read Rewind It Back by Liz Tomforty. 5 stars. Yes. Rio's book in the Windy City series. This is the last book in the series. I don't want to give too much away, but basically the book is like childhood friends to lovers, second chance. Perfect way to wrap up the series. It was so interesting to see and learn things about Rio that I did not assume. Like, you think he's such like a ladies' man in the other books, and then you find out some things about him and you're like, oh my God, he's completely different than what I thought. I was going back and forth of like, oh, should I give it a 5 star, should I not? Honestly, it's more 5 star because it was the end of a really great series. If this was more of one of the middle books, I probably wouldn't have rated it that high, only because my only negative about the whole book is I just felt like it took a really long time to find out what happened to make them break up, because they were dating when they were younger and then they have not spoken in like 6 years or something like that, and there just seems to be like hatred between them when they re-meet, and I was like, what could have been so terrible? And just it takes more than half the book to find out, and then honestly a little bit let down by what the incident was, because it just like it was such classic miscommunication trope amongst, not even between them really, it was like between other participants in this thing. Trying not to spoil it, but you know what I'm alluding to.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's so good. Such a good way to wrap it up. I loved the little cameos from all the other characters, and I'm just really looking forward to the spinoff we're getting of Monty and Reese in the springtime.
Yeah, I think that's in a month or so.
Oh my God, that's
comes
soon?
Out. Yeah, Side note, I literally started writing a list of books I wanted to read this year, and that when I put when their release date was supposed to be, and I think it's in March.
Oh, I can't wait. But yeah, such a good, if you're looking for a good sports romance series, that one is phenomenal. It's on Kindle Unlimited. So we have, 2 books that are on the hockey team. They all take place in Chicago. 2 from the hockey team, 1 from the basketball team, 2 from the baseball team.
Yeah. And I like that. This is me talking about, literally I've just read almost an entire hockey series back to back, but I actually really enjoyed how they hopped from different sport, because it was, this one's connected here, so now insert their story, and then this one's here, and
they connected it.
I just liked it. Yeah, and I just love it. I mean, you gotta read it. Yeah, if you're into these types of books, that is something it's you really have to read.
But yeah, I really like to Rewind It Back. My favorite is still Play Along.
Is that the second one?
No, the 4th one.
Or fourth one. Okay, yes. I'm sorry. I get those 2 mixed up.
Isaiah Rhodes. But the second one is my second. My least favorite is Caught Up, just because single dad trope, not my favorite.
I know.
And Justice for Mile High. People shit on it, but I liked it, so.
I liked it too, and it stood for a lot of really good things.
Yes.
So.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah.
Ugh, sad that series over.
I know. Sucks.
If I could reread it and not know anything, as if it was the first time reading it, that's how I feel like I should read it.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So my last hockey one for the month and the last of the series that is out as of now, because both book 6 and 7 will be out later this year, I think. But this is called Sin Bin. I rated it 4 stars. So this is a single dad, but he's also the coach of the team. So we step away from the team members and go to him. I liked it. I think that it's really cool. The female main character, Hannah, she is a sister of one of the players who will get a book later on in the series. So they're siblings. She's been around this coach a few times, but he needs a skating coach for his daughter. And Hannah is a professional ice skater, figure skater. I'm sorry, I say that wrong every single time. But pretty much she helps him. Now, there is an age gap, and they joke about it a few times, but it doesn't feel that way. And I know it sounds weird, but you know how sometimes we're literally, it's just over and over again?
Like when they
and
call
maybe
her, like,
to
little
some
girl. I'm like,
right.
stop.
Yeah, no, exactly. No, this one definitely doesn't go on that. I mean, does she literally reference him as daddy as a joke many times? Yes. However, I don't think it's bad. I mean, that's why I rated it a 4, because I like the fact that it's still this group. And with everything that went on with Riley in the book before, like I said, they overlap a bit. The coach kind of gets involved a bit more with them because he's very to the side. So this one was really nice because you do see him get involved in a lot more. And there's so many stories that still are actually going from the side characters from the first few books that they bring into this one. So I just really liked it because it just brought everyone together. Because at first I was nervous. It was just going to be a, why are we going here? So
we're running out of players.
Really yeah, exactly. But the last 2 are the youngest 2 players. And those 2 are so entertaining. So I cannot wait for their books.
That's good. You have good ones to look forward to.
Yeah, so, and I already know the tropes because the author actually writes it at the end of this one. She gives you a snippet of what it's going to be about. So I like that too. So you're kind of anticipating it a bit. So yeah, it was cute, but not my favorite of the series.
Okay, so book 1 is your favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good. Started off strong. Yeah. I cannot wait to read them.
Yeah.
They sound good.
Yeah. I know.
Okay, my next read was Heart the Lover by Lily King. I gave this one 2.75 stars. I think her first book is Writers and Friends, and that was a really popular book. Honestly, I listened to the Chicks in the Office podcast, and they started a book club, so I was like, oh, I'll jump on. And I saw that this book was on Spotify Premium for audiobooks, and the audiobook was only 5 hours. So I was like, this is great. I can listen to it in like one day. I think that's where I went wrong. Audiobook probably wasn't the right choice. But I also didn't know this author's writing style, and she does not have chapters in the book. It's just in 3 parts, which like I hate because like there's not a natural stopping point. Also, there's so many times like you're constantly jumping around. So it was really hard to kind of follow like what's happening. And it's kind of written like stream of consciousness, which I don't like. Don't like it. And it's basically a love triangle. It starts when they're in college, and then all of a sudden they're like in Paris, and then it's like after college, and the girl clearly is not with either of them, and she's like married with kids, and it's like super confusing of like what the hell's happening.
Okay.
Yeah, I really hated the female main character. I found her to be fucking annoying. One of the men in the love triangle was actually the worst human being, so like you weren't even ever gonna root for him. And then the other guy, it's like, well, I guess I like you compared to this one, but like you suck too. Not for me. I'd never read anything from this author. It's very much contemporary, like literary fiction. I just don't think that's my genre. This writing style, I would never recommend anyone to read it on audiobook or listen to it on audiobook, because I think it makes it way more confusing when you're going through stream of consciousness, no chapters, time jumps.
Oh, jeez.
And then, like, spoiler, if you don't want to know about this book, even though I don't think it's that big of a spoiler, you think this girl, her name is one thing through the entire book, and then the last, like, couple pages, You find out that's not even her name.
What?
It was just like a nickname that she was using in her own book. It was so weird.
That is so bizarre.
Yeah, and the ending was like, this is uncalled for. Not for me. Will not be reading anything more from this author. Would not recommend.
All right. Good to know. Because, yeah, that was another one that was talked about a lot. I have such a tough time with these book talk books lately. They're not as hyped, or they're way overhyped. And the ones that actually are good are not getting the spotlight. And I'm just, who is putting this on the algorithm?
It's funny,
to make
though,
it this
because
popular?
a girl I went to college with, I saw she was also reading. She listens to the podcast. And she posted her review and she gave it 5 stars. She was like, this book was unbelievable. And I was like, did we read the same thing? So, like, reading is so subjective. And I think, honestly, I'm just not a literary fiction person. And this just was not the writing style for me. And it just didn't connect. It was very short. It's like 200 something pages.
Yeah.
And again, like, I'm not really an audiobook person. So that also could have been part of the issue.
Could have been a double whammy at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. It won't be on my list.
No,
but
take it off. I don't think you would like it.
Probably not. I'd probably complain immediately. Alrighty. So my last book was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, which we are going to be talking about in our next episode. So I'm not going to go into it since we'll rant about that for a while. But that's how I ended the month, was pretty much just went and read that one, which, I mean, it was a good way to end the month. But
that was my last book, too, of the month, was
okay.
Harry Potter 4. So we started with Harry Potter. We ended with Harry Potter.
Wow. Bookends there.
Yes.
All right.
So that's it for my January reads. I was all over the place.
Same.
I had a 5-star and then I had multiple 2 stars. So
yeah, I guess I kind of went in the around the 4s. I will say I'm trying to get better at being more strict with my rating. So if I am not as thrilled with it, but it was okay, it's got to be a 3. Maybe in somewhere in the 3 range based on how it made me feel in that moment, the vibes were. But some of these I gotta take a day to digest first before I rate them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I started getting really strict with my ratings, mainly because I don't remember books. Like, as you can probably tell from this, like, half these books I didn't even mention the characters' names because, like, I don't remember them. And then I feel like, which is a good thing that people want to ask me for book recommendations. I love it. But then I'll just go back and look and I'm like, oh, I gave this 4 stars. But I don't know why. So, like, I'm just trying to be, like, more realistic so that future me, when people are asking me, oh, did you like this book? I can be like, oh, I gave it 2 stars. Like, I didn't like it.
Yeah. To that point, I also have really started adding in reviews of, oh, it's cute, it's heartfelt, nothing else really. Or, oh my God, absolutely loved it because of X, Y, and Z, but trying not to do spoilers because I really don't like when people do that. Or at least for me, I don't want to always read like when you see a bunch of spoilers back to back in reviews. I'm like, can you just give me a 1 sentence that says, did you hate this or did you like it? And what was the reason why? And then just end it. And then you can do a separate one that's spoilers, please.
Yeah. No, I agree. I've been trying to, like, remember to do the review, mainly because it's like, I can do it in a written book journal, but if someone asks me when I'm out and about, like, I'm going to go to my Goodreads. I need to see if it's there. So it's nice to have it there. And if I do put spoilers, because sometimes I'm like, I have to, like, I need to know. So I remember the cliffhangers if it's like a sequel or something. I always hit the thing that says includes spoilers.
I don't like when people don't do that. And that's why it bothers me the most.
I think Goodreads now has that option. Because before you used to, like, just type, like, spoilers and you could still see some of the sentence.
Yeah. I know. Where you write it and then press enter a bunch of times and hope that no one can read. Okay, now that I'm going to type this.
But no, I agree. It's easier to have that there so you can remember.
Yeah. And I will say, too, to your point about even asking for reviews, we've talked about books that we've read and different ones that we read this month. I'll tell you now, in a couple weeks, I'm not going to remember anything that you probably said about the books that you read. So I'm going to have to ask you again. And I'm not going to remember the ones I read. So it's one of those, having that is really good because it just helps us out in the long run. If, like, why did I put this on my list? What was the reason that you said read that for sure?
Yeah. And we all have those people that we know that just rate everything 5 stars, which is totally fine. But it's like when I'm looking for a book and I just see, like, you know, so and so rated it 5 stars. I'm like, okay, was it a real 5 stars, or was it just like your 5 stars that you give everything? Like, I need to know. We're like, if I go on and I see you gave something 2 stars, I'm like, take that off my list right now.
Yeah, pretty much same with you. Yeah, we've only disagreed on a few books. I mean,
The Love of Snow.
Rare. Yeah.
I will never forget.
That was a very poor choice for the season that we were in. Yeah. Nope, that wasn't my top moment in terms of book club choices.
Oh, and The Housemaid, which like breaks my heart. Actually breaks my heart.
Did not like that. I know. Yeah. What can you do? Not all of them are winners, but I would say we're at a 95% of we're on the same page with things.
Yeah, I agree.
There's only a select few. But all right, so I know we mentioned that our next episode literally is going to be Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. So that is exactly what we're going to be discussing next. We're going to go into that and kind of talk about our favorite things, or maybe things that upset us that they changed or didn't include. There's a lot in this book that was not in the movie or was completely different. It was actually crazy to see that once you started doing the read and then watching the movie. So I'm super excited for us to chat about that. But if you're interested in all of that, you can follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and our Fable Book Club at Booktroverts Pod and read along with us. So see you next time. Bye.
Bye.